Hello and welcome. Welcome everybody. Today, as you can see, we are going to paint macaron. Macaron. Are you French, Laura? Do you know anything how to say it?
No, no.
So we need our French people to jump in and help us to pronounce it properly. But we're going to paint this little French cookie. It's a meringue-based cookie with a filling in the middle. And I had so much fun thinking about it because of the different colors. Usually in a French pastry shop, you will see these lined up by color, and it's such a sight. It's beautiful, pastel colors. They all, you can't decide which one you want to try. They do have certain flavors for each one, and it's just a beautiful sight. I wish I had taken pictures of the whole case. I bet we can find one, or maybe one of our people who are joining us will know or have a picture of the full case of what it looks like. Also, I'd love to add, anybody who's joining us, do you happen to know some of the flavors that they have? And Laura, do you happen to know any of the flavors?
No, I just know they all taste delicious and melt in your mouth.
Yes, meringue. How can we not like a meringue?
Right.
They definitely, there is a pistachio, I recall, raspberry, I recall, I suppose vanilla. So anybody, please write in the comments what kind you know, what kind they have. If you know of any, I'd love to see it in the comments. But this one is fun. This one you can, I'm going to pull up another picture because they're just so beautiful to look at. This one you can paint just one color, or you can paint a few colors. For the purpose of this lesson, I just wanted to do one and just review drawing and how to draw it. So this is just to show you the different colors there are. Let me move this over here. I'm going to move that over there so you can see the whole plate full of cookies. And I'm going to take this one off, and this is what's going to be our, oops, this is what's going to be our, come on, there we go. This is going to be our judge. This is what we're going to judge. If you want to quickly snip a picture of this is fine. It's from the website. Basically, you see there's really the top layer and the bottom layer, and then a middle cream layer. It looks like there's other layers inside, but that is the meringue. That's the crumbliness of the meringue. So you can indicate that crumbliness any way you would like. I chose, for my meringue, I'm choosing an opera rose. If you don't have opera rose, don't worry. You can pick any pink that you have, a rose madder. The other color I'd like to talk about is alizarin crimson. And I know a lot of artists, I'm going to put it on here, a lot of artists use this alizarin crimson, and then they take a cad red. So I'll put both those colors down and we can label them later. And they take these two and they mix them, and it makes a really rich. So I'm going to put it right here on my palette. I'm just going to put a little strip of it to show you how to mix. I put the cad red down. It's not as strong as alizarin, so I usually like to use the lighter colors first, and then just tap in the alizarin crimson. And with those two combinations, it's a really beautiful, bright red. If you want it more pink, then go ahead and add a little more alizarin crimson to make it a little pink, more pink. So we've got the opera rose and then the alizarin crimson red mixture. So obviously I'm picking the pink one. I hope you all pick a different one and share with us the different colors. I see a purple, I see a chocolatey brown, I see green, I see yellow, beige, just really fun colors. So the drawing is really just one disc on top of the other. The top disc is a little bit rounded at the top. Think of it like a hamburger. It's rounded at the top, and then the crumbly layer kind of has its own spot. Then the filling comes in between, takes a little bigger spot, and then again the crumbly layer, and then the final cookie the cookie layer comes up a little bit to the side and comes down around and back up to the side, because we're looking down at it. On the picture, it's straight even, so you can choose which one. To me, I see little sprinkles on top too. That might be kind of fun. So in painting this, we have to decide our light source. So I'm going to put an arrow here as a light source, and for that light source, I'm going to make like a circle edge, kind of an oval here, I guess I should say, and a little piece over here, and those two are going to be kept light. We're not going to paint those. And down here on the bottom part of the cookie, I'm just going to do a little sliver to keep it white. You can always change that as you go along. Okay, so what's so fun about this one is we're going to take the pink, the opera rose, and we're painting wet on dry. So I'm really just taking the pink and just back and forth movement, pushing it around, stroking it back and forth. I am using a number 6 brush, but this is the long-handled skinny series, which is very nice. I like it because it gives you a nice point. This one is synthetic. If you leave a white spot, please go ahead and just leave it again. The more you leave, the better, because you can always fill it in a little later. Let's see if I can get that color, that light to show up better. Okay. And go ahead and paint the bottom one, because that's the opera rose. The bottom and the top are the meringue. Have you ever made a meringue, Laura?
I have, but not into these nice little shapes.
Okay. I believe you could just drop them.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I leave them in an off oven overnight, and I have little meringue drops in the morning.
Oh, yum. Yum. So you heat the oven to a certain temperature, and then...
Yep, like only to about 200, put them in, say nighty night, and in the morning, there they are. They're actually called nighty nights.
Nighty nights. Oh my gosh, that sounds so cute. So 200 degrees overnight. So you turn off the oven. 200.
Yep.
To preheat to 200, and then turn off, and then leave them in overnight.
Yeah.
Simple enough. I hope you guys on Facebook will give it a try and take pictures and share with us. Okay, so the opera pink is semi-drying. Since my light source is over here, I'm going to draw that better, that arrow, so you can see it. I've got it darker on this side a little bit. And opera rose or rose madder, any of the rose, really pinky colors you have. Then we're going to take this mixture that we made, the quinacridone and the cad red. We're going to make a nice big mixture of that, and that's going to go in the center. This is that frosting. Now you can play with your colors. If you choose a different color, macaron, you can use the idea, excuse me, I'm stumbling a little bit. The idea is you want the light on the top and the bottom, the light color, because meringues are nice, light and fresh. And then you want the frosting color, a little darker in the middle. I'm going to I'm looking at the picture and really zooming in on that meringue, and I'm really liking that crumbly part. And so I'm going to just take this pink, now that I did the middle and I did the outside, I'd like to just drop in some of this light pink, but leave some spaces. And it actually is a darker pink. The spaces are darker. But I just wanted to indicate that's what the meringue is doing. I'm going to put a little more opera rose up here on the top. And that, I mean, that's it. That's it. Let's take some pinks and put some, the Opera Rose here for the dark side a little bit. And full pink, I'll drop into some of this little crumbly part where I put. And if you see some of your red bleeding into the crumbly parts, don't worry, that's awesome. Go ahead and leave it in there. That just gives you more texture. Makes it more believable that it's 3-dimension. Okay. Anything to add? I do see dark, dark pink. So now I usually paint and then I step away and I look at it and I reevaluate and look at it again. And the picture, it's a little confusing because the light source is coming from the right side, but I put the light source coming from the left side on my painting. That's okay. You can do what you want. So this side's going to be darker, but I need a darker pink. What can I add to my pink to make it just a little bit darker, but I don't want black?
Did you add a little blue?
Yep, blue. And you chose blue because
blue and pink make purple. I wasn't even looking at my chart.
yes, yeah, because the blue is on the other side of the color wheel than the pink. I find my pink here. It's pink is close to the red violet. Here we go. Here's red. Well, actually, green is on the other side of red. So red violet is a yellow green. So if you, I felt blue as well, Laura. If you want to go in theory, you would go to the other side of the color palette to make it dark, but you have to be careful because it could turn black. So if your natural thought is to go blue, then what you're doing is you're making it a analogous color scheme. So you're doing the pink and then you're adding the blue to it so that it's right side by side. You're just skipping over the violet, and you could add even violet to it as well. So that was perfect. That's exactly what I would have done. But when I used the color wheel, I just wanted to confirm that you could use green or you could use a blue or violet. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a violet, and I'm just going to drop it in there to make that dark space. I love when it bleeds up a little bit. So it's a little bit of a shadow in between the cookie wedge. There you go. And reevaluate. If you don't like this white spot down here, go ahead and just do a light color of the pink in there. Just fill it in a little bit. And I'll do a little bit on the top. And that's it. We've done our cookie. Now, I do challenge you, and I know that there are those out there that will do more than one color. I love that. Go ahead and just put them on top of each other. Stack them like you see them right here in this picture. And that's it. If we don't want it flying in space, we don't want this to be like a saucer, go ahead and put some color, some of that purpley pink down underneath as a shadow. I started over here, so I believe that's a mistake. And of course, it's my painting, so it doesn't matter. We're just having fun. But I'm going to take paper towel and just lay on top of it and press it out. And then I'll use some water just to clean it out a little bit. Yep, just have some fun with that. I encourage you, highly encourage you to do something different. Stack yours up, do 2 different colors, be creative. The more you change what I'm showing you, the more you do on your own, the more confident you're going to feel. Because you're going to realize, yeah, I can do that. I can make it my own. I don't have to do what she's doing. I'm going to do a little darker as well. There we go. And remember that your colors dry lighter than they are. Okay, I forgot what they're called. I'm going to write it down. Droplets?
Nighty nights.
Oh, wait, say it again.
The ones that I make?
Yeah.
They're called nighty nights.
Oh, nighty nights.
Yeah, like you when my daughter was little, she'd help me make them, and then I told her it was her job to say nighty night because otherwise they wouldn't turn out.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
She loved it. Bought right into it.
Yeah, I would too. That sounds so cute.
And if you make them, put them on foil because if there's any grease on your pan, they won't work. And the
Okay.
meringue won't set.
Okay, so you got to put them on foil.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me write that down. On foil. All right, so we put them on foil, preheat the oven. Oh, I've got a little Christina Bobina here.
Just saying I love you.
Oh, I love you too, honey. I'm done in a minute. Okay, love you.
Love you.
Okay. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Okay, so nighty nights, that's adorable. So put it on foil. Would wax paper work? No.
No, because you have to put it in that warm oven.
And wax paper doesn't go well in warm ovens?
Well, it would melt the wax a little bit.
It might melt the wax. Okay.
And I don't know about parchment paper. I think that might hold the moisture. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's true too. Moisture could be an issue. Okay. All right, let's see yours. Laura, you ready?
Well, I'm working on my second one.
Oh, I
The
love
first-
it.
The first one is a little messy.
That's okay. Is messy.
My other one looks like a little alien.
That's adorable. What color are you going to do inside?
I don't know what I'm gonna do because they put a lighter color in there. I'm thinking of putting a little deeper green, just
Yeah.
like what we did with the pink.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna push this shadow up a little bit because I feel like it's still floating. Yeah. No, I love that. I love that you're doing two. And I know it's intimidating to share in front of people. It always is, and we always question ourselves. But if you share, it'll make everybody feel comfortable because they don't have to be perfect. If we're sharing things that we don't think are perfect, I bet you'll be surprised that other people will think they're better than you think. And you just gain confidence by sharing. You just know that you've done a nice thing. I'm going to put the shadow in on this one too. People will say, well, Laura did it. Laura can do it. I can do it.
Right.
There we go. So added a little. I can see now, I'm looking at it again. I can see where I can make this bottom part a little more pink and squared off just for shape wise. But would they be perfectly shaped? No. They probably are so professional. They probably do such a good job that they get them pretty perfect when they're baking at the bakery.
Just a little aside, I went to a wedding once where instead of wedding cake, they had as many colors as you could think of macaroons.
Oh,
And made a display out of them, and they were delicious. This was in Cincinnati. Maybe they're a thing in Cincinnati. I don't know.
yeah. Oh, that is cool.
But they sure were good.
That's a great idea. Love that idea. And Emily did say she wasn't here today.
Love that idea.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute and open this up because and Emily did say she wasn't here today.
Love that idea.
Be quiet. Okay, I can turn the volume down. Chocolate, lime, and lemon, and pistachio is a trendy favorite. Oh, it's all in the throat. Macaroon. Oh, Mary Lou, I wish you were live with us so you could say it. I'd love to hear you say it. Awesome. Awesome. I can't wait to see everybody's pictures. You're all welcome to pop in, and you can copy and paste your pictures right into the chat here. Then everybody can see it. Love to have you. Any questions? I'm looking at the chat. If anybody has any questions, any watercolor questions that I can answer. I've got a new watercolor program starting, a more comprehensive program. If you want to know about it, please send a reply in the comments or DM me your email and I will send it to you. I believe it's a comprehensive program that will get you from the basics to entering art shows like Laura. Yep. All right, Laura, did you have a chance to fix it up and like to show it again, or we're just?
I was just adding notes. I think it's, as far as I got, it doesn't look any different. Maybe a little more shading in the green.
Oh yeah, I can definitely tell where your light source is. And you're using your practice book.
I am. I always do my first thing in my practice book.
Okay, because the paper's a little bumpy and it shows up in the Facebook, but
yeah,
clarify that. That's okay. That's what we need to know. I do recommend having both a practice book and then your show off book. And Laura and I have been training together for a while, and we know that doing it in the practice book really takes out that intimidation and the fear. It's like when you go to a white canvas, it's pretty intimidating. So using it in the practice book is my way of helping you get to practice it first.
And it's a good place to put your notes besides.
And I love that you're putting your notes. I think this one, I might even, when it's dry, I might even take the black marker that's water resistant and outline it so that it's an illustrated one, and then write notes in it.
It's a good idea.
That might be a fun one. And I definitely am going to put the recipe Nighty Nights in there. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you all for joining me. Please DM me if you're interested to know more. Love to have you join Art Yourself Studio watercolor classes. And anything else? I think that's it. Okay. We did really fast today. This was a short one. So
Yeah.
I hope.
Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome. I just hope to see your macarons in the comments, everybody. Maybe more than just one color, like Laura was brave. She did.
I didn't stack them though. I wasn't that brave.
So maybe we could take an extra minute. That's a really good comment. What would you think would you do if you wanted to stack them? What would be a suggestion that we could give our peeps?
I think stacking them, you got to pay attention to the shadows, not just from your light source, but you have shadows from the cookie above and below. Plus, it kind of changes the shape of them each time.
True. Yes. Also, when you're stacking, you might want to paint one at a time so that this one is dry before you do the next one, so the colors don't
Good idea.
bleed together. And I forgot the little sprinkles. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on top. Just took a color and tapped my, ooh, that's a lot. That's okay, it's cute. And we'll get a green here too. Just tap the sprinkles, like, you know, the candy sprinkles. And as we've talked before, if you get a sprinkle color where you don't want it, just gently take your brush, dry it off a little bit, and just wipe out where you don't want it. and tap, tap, tap. There you go. Maybe it doesn't make sense to have it in some places. And then other places you want it. I like it kind of sprinkling off the page, like somebody's just freshly sprinkling them. Or you could paint a jar that you're sprinkling on. We could just go on and on. Who would have thought all this content from a macaron? Did I say it right, Mary Lou? Macaron in your throat, macaron. Oh, I'm butchering it. Okay, I think we're all set. Laura, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Facebook Live. Thank you for being here with me today, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye, everybody.